You're watching another episode of the Delco Duo. I am one half, but apparently the latter half.
Yes.
Monica Crime. Why are you first?
Your graphic says other half of the Delco Duo.
It says other half, and then in the lead-in, it's Jenna Meisner and Monica Crime. I don't understand why you go first when my name is C.
I could cut you off the show and I'd still be a main act.
No,
You're just a limb of the Delco Duo. You're the other half of the...
This was my idea.
No.
This is my idea.
Let me just get this clear. You're watching the Delco Duo Saturday night here on PHL 17. Monica's idea was to have a show called Thoughts and Opinions, where she just gave her thoughts and opinions.
Which is what I do here.
And then this turned into the Delco Duo, of course, where you submit your issues every week, and we pick some, and we talk about ways that we would deal with them. We give you our best advice, and hopefully you take it. And if you don't, we're not offended.
And apparently Jenna's the star. Let's get right now to the debrief.
All right, Monica, so I think that we look really well-rested.
Glowing.
Absolutely glowing. We had an experience recently. Tell them what we did.
Okay, we were invited by one of the best spas and salon in the area to come take a visit and to get ourselves pampered. This is a look at our time at Joseph Anthony's.
Being the Delco Duo is very stressful.
Right, everyone's always giving us their problems and we're trying to solve them left and right. We need to relax.
I think we deserve a day where we get absolutely pampered in nowhere else but Delaware County.
Yeah, so Joseph Anthony, they have salon and spas all across Delco and even in Philly, but we're actually at the one in the Springfield Country Club.
I can't wait. Welcome. So we are going to have you start off with our complimentary foot bath. Kind of relaxes you before your treatment.
To the Delco Duo and all of the problems
That we've solved thus far.
and to the many more.
I could get used to this life.
We should need to do this after every show.
I think so.
It gets that stressful.
It does.
It does. All right. I always like these times because I like to talk to everybody. I'm
You're
sure
probably the
everybody
most
wants to be left
annoying
alone.
person at the spa. Nobody wants to talk to anyone else when they're there.
Oh, what are you getting?
Then what we're going to have you do is go into our Turkish bath, where we're going to start off with a warming experience. We do about 5 to 6 different treatments in there. Like, you can have just a body scrub with a full aromatherapy steam all around you while you're doing your body scrub. We also do a water massage. We start out with a body scrub, then a soap scrub, then a massage, while water is circulating on top of you with the aromatherapy steam. And then you can just go in there with a group of 2 to 4 to 6, and you self-apply the muds to your body. The room steams. You have buttons where you can do an ice fog, you can do a tropical rain. It's such a new treatment, and now that people are kind of knowing about it, it's becoming more popular. But because we're pretty much the only spa in the area that has it, you have to kind of educate people on it. We're going to do our hydrofacial. Not only are we cleansing the body, we're going to cleanse your face real well. Then from there, you each are going to go into separate rooms and have a soft pack treatment, which is our unique body treatment, starting off with a body scrub and then going into our soft pack bed, which leaves you totally weightless. And then after that, we're gonna have you relax in our brine light therapy, which is our salt inhalation room.
I feel like, the weight of the world on my shoulders, the way to go, weightlessness. I was floating.
We can now solve
Floating.
many issues.
We can. Cheers. Take me back.
Yeah, that was such a fun day. So Joseph Anthony, thank you so much for having us. We were laughing during that because Monica said she looked like a vampire in one of the soft packs. And
Yes.
you truly did. All we could see was your face.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I've never seen that. So what it does is it lowers you. So at first you're lying on a bed, just like a regular bed, and then it lowers you into like a kind of water base. And so you're not soaked because there's still a contraption around you, but you're floating in
And
this.
it's really hot.
And it's warm. And you're floating, and it's a weird sensation, but it really does relax you. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I've never had anything like that before. So
Such a cool experience.
really
and
fun.
our guys in the control room, Steve, he says he needs a really good body scrub, so we're going to send him to the Turkish bath, and he's going to get his full treatment. All right, Steve?
Steve needs all the treatments. Bring his stress level
He needs to
down.
relax so he stops yelling at us in our
Honestly.
ears during the Delco Duo. But now I feel like we can take on the problems. We have some good ones this week.
Yes, we do.
Actually longer than our card. So you guys have been submitting a lot of good detail with your issues.
And we do appreciate that. We love all the details that we can get. You know, some of our more fun ones are, you know, someone writes like a sentence or two, but this is a look at one of the shorter ones, and then our next topic is the long one. So Ulysses from Upland says, could you date a rival team fan? So as Philadelphia fans, we have a lot of rival teams.
Absolutely.
And it's
No
not
one
just
likes
like
us, we
cute
don't care.
rivals. Yeah, it's not cute rivals. Like people hate us.
I go right to Cowboys. I just think that is such a
think
long-standing
that's-
rivalry, the most popular one, Dallas. So thinking if I could date a Dallas fan, I mean, I'm not a sports fanatic,
Sure.
so I don't see a problem with it. But if you're somebody who's crazy about sports, this is definitely a deal breaker.
Right. So I have an example because Eugene, my husband, is a Giants fan, and I'm an Eagles fan. Here is us getting along. You can get along.
I wouldn't say this is a major rivalry,
You're
but
kidding.
it is enough.
It's huge.
It is, but when you think of the Eagles, do you immediately think, oh, the Giants?
Well,
I think the
Cowboys.
locations.
You think Cowboys?
Yes, but I think
Yeah.
the locations of these teams make them a good rivalry. But how do you feel? I know at this game, Eugene was an Eagles. Was it Eagles home or who
It
was
was
home?
it was at home at the Eagles.
So he was getting heckled a lot.
He was getting heckled. You know, I was super afraid the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm with a Giants fan. But we were so excited just to be able to get to see both of our teams play, and it was just really fun.
I guess now that you're saying
And
that, I
people
can
were-
think
People were generally nice.
think back to one of our first Valentine's Day dates together. Tate and I, we went to the Sixers-Celtics game, and
Okay.
Tate is a Celtics fan.
Right.
And same thing. I was very
Fun.
concerned about my
Yes.
well-being being with a Celtics fan at, the Wells Fargo Center. So thinking of that, I could see why, if you're a huge sports fan, that you're not going to date somebody from a rival team. I would do it, but
I mean, it actually kind of works for us. Now, our one team that we do love, Penn State, brings us together. So we're house divided for NFL, but for college football, house together. So
There
you
you
got to
go.
find the one team that you agree on. But you can get along with a rival team fan, and Eugene actually kind of loves the Eagles.
it's
for
fun.
The most
It's
part.
fun to
Yeah.
have a little in-home rivalry. Just don't get beat up at the games.
Keeps it spicy.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to head to break. When we get back, we have a very long issue surrounding a church drama.
Who knew there could be church?
I
drama?
didn't. All right, stay with us.
Thanks for sticking with us. So what we talked about is a long kind of explanation for our next problem. So what we do is we have our cards, our Delco Duo cards.
But our budget is still small, so we have to use the same card every episode. So
we
it's
just
just
tape it.
blank, so we just tape it on. That's a little secret to saving your dollar.
It's smart. And also, I love how you call it a budget. Our budget is zero. Zero.
Hey, we had some upgrades.
We did. That was very nice. Our station upgraded us with some cool...
Thanks to you viewers at home. So keep watching,
Yes.
and maybe we'll be able to get more
and
cards.
making suggestions. Love it. But yeah, so we tape onto the back, and this is an issue that got really in depth, but I do feel like we need to read the whole thing.
Okay,
So,
let's do it.
just sum this up. Gladys from Glenolden says, I'm a member of a church with a few members who are willing to serve, such as committing to ushering. One of the members takes multiple vacations during the year with her husband, which each lasts 4 to 6 weeks. My goodness. When she is in town, she gives the rest of us orders as if we work for her. Is critical if we take a day off from ushering, and is critical if collections are down.
And Gladys keeps going. So it seems like they're part of a smaller church. They have one woman who's really trying to rule the roost, but she's often going on vacation. She and her husband are retired. retired and they like to travel, so that makes sense. That's why they have these 4 to 6 week long vacations.
Right.
Because if you're working, then you're not taking that long of vacation. But when she is in town, she will work for the church. However, her comments seem out of line when we are the ones covering the position while she is away. So they're picking up her slack while she's on these 4 to 6 week vacations.
Elaborate vacations.
I'm concerned that I'm going to say something and it's going to cause a rift in our small but growing church. What do I do?
You know, nip it in the bud now before the church gets to its like big size and then she, it feels like she is the boss. Nip it in the bud now, but how to do so is really tough.
Well, if it's a small church, as Gladys mentioned, I think that you kind of have to take a group consensus. That can't be too hard if it's a small but growing. She doesn't give a number of how many people are part of this congregation, but I would just take a consensus when she's on one of her 4 to 6 week vacations. Just be like, hey guys, is this bothering you too? If it's not bothering anyone else, then zip it and just grin and bear it.
Right.
But if overwhelmingly the group's like, I'm bothered by this, then you do an intervention.
Yeah, and I think, she says 4 to 6 weeks, so there's plenty of time to create a mutiny. I mean, I know it's church, but...
I can't believe we're talking about church drama. I mean...
Really, I think a lot of drama happens in the kind of serving of your time or charities.
Because you're not getting paid to do it.
Yeah, and some people feel a little bit more tied to it than others, and so I definitely see a lot of drama coming from churches and
The
nonprofits.
hierarchy,
Yes,
I can understand. And,
the nonprofits.
And we don't know what kind of religion, Gladys, what kind of church this is, but we were speaking of our own experiences of, when we would go to the Catholic Church, how there's so many jobs. I mean, you have your ushers, you have your Eucharistic administrators, you have the people who bring up the gifts, you have the readers, you have the cantors, the singers. There are so many jobs that I don't know how I would
feel so left out, like at church. They never asked my family to bring up the gifts. You know how they ever?
We were like the gift stars.
I
was bringing up the gifts left and right. I was bringing up the wine. I was like the cutest little kid. They used me because I was a cute kid.
This mass brought to you by the Meisners. That's what happened.
And I remember,
my family wasn't as popular.
I used to want to bring my doll, and the usher would be like, "No, you got to leave your doll in the pew." We used to bring our American Girl dolls to church because we were little and it was keeping us entertained. And I used to be really upset that I couldn't bring Samantha down the aisle with me to deliver the Eucharist.
Yeah, the priest doesn't want that. I used to walk into church with my best smile. I'd make sure my brother and
sister
Did
you have to dress really nice? Like, did your mom make you change?
I mean, in the beginning when we were young, but as we got older, I would start to dress a little bit
Like, my mom was always like, no jeans. No jeans to church.
I didn't wear jeans to church. We would get dressed up, but again, like with time, it was
changed.
like, okay, let me pretend I've got a game to go to after this, so I'll just wear my game uniform. But never was asked to bring up the gifts.
Wow.
The only time I ever participated in church, I would go to church, but when I participated in church, it was for choir.
And please tell the people what you had to wear to be a part of the choir.
Yeah, so our school really took mass and choir very seriously. So I was in the choir. We would wear a uniform every day to school, but then to sing at the mass in choir, we would have to wear black slacks, black shoes, not heels, black shoes, a white button down, long sleeve, and a cummerbund.
And a bow tie.
A bow tie and a cummerbund.
Why did they have you dressed like you were going to prom?
Because we were very serious about how our choir sang.
My
and then I
gosh.
would sing, and that's how I got involved with church. But for Gladys,
Usher drama's not good. We need to sort this out, Gladys. I said, just get a group consensus.
yeah, I feel bad, but the 4 to 6 weeks that she has gone on a vacation, take control and start asking around if everybody gets equally as annoyed. And then go to the higher up. There's the priest, there's the person in charge. You need to go to them and say, listen, everybody's really upset with how she's treating. I think we need to boot Bertha out.
And then whatever form of confession, if you're feeling bad about it, just get it all done in one day.
One-stop shop.
All right, thank you so much, as always, for submitting your issues. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about one of our own issues. It's What's Monica Crying About? It's Meisner Needs an Advisor. That is next.
We'll see.
And welcome back. You are watching the Delco Duo Saturday night on PHL 17.
All right, we got to get now to one of our own issues after we solved two problems, kind of solved it. Now we have one of our own issues. Let's see whose turn it is. Meisner needs an advisor.
I think that needs to be our new slogan. Like, we kind of solved your problem. We more just talked about it and then added our own experience into it.
I think that's as equally as helpful. You know, you got to make those decisions on your own, but we're just help guiding you. That is
All right.
the point.
I need guidance. I need your help at home. So this week it's my week. So love my husband. I think he's probably a much better person than me. He's
Trouble
much.
in paradise.
He's much kinder than I am. Has much more patience than I do.
Yes.
Much more soft-spoken. Yada yada yada. So you can see it says from one sales guy to another.
He's in sales.
He's in sales, yes. He works in sales. So it was probably a few nights ago, we were cleaning up from dinner and the doorbell rings. So I look at the Ring camera and I see that it's a sales guy and I'm like, no,
How did
we're
you
not gonna
know?
get it. Because I could see him on the video. The way he was standing, he had a clipboard, and I'm like, if you're a sales company and you're still sending your people door to door, it is 2022.
Yeah.
We got virtual, we have social media.
I would not have thought it was a salesperson. I would have thought it was like an election official.
No, totally. He had like a lanyard on. I could just tell that he was a salesman. And in the world we live in today, you never know who the heck's knocking on your front door. So that's another like thought in the back of my mind, like, okay, we're just not gonna get this. So I say to Tate, he's mid washing dishes. I go, oh, it's just a sales guy. He dries his hands off, he turns the sink off, and he runs to the front door and opens it. He spends 30 minutes talking to this man, listening to the pitch, saying, oh, that would be great. It was about a free window estimate. Oh, that would be great. We don't need windows. We are totally fine. We don't need windows. So he's talking to this man. He gives him all his information, says, yes, come back tomorrow. 6 p.m. is a wonderful time for my wife and I. My wife's name is Jenna.
No way.
My wife's name's Jenna. She's inside. We just had dinner, telling him what we had for dinner. He's like, Tate gives him his cell phone number, and he says, oh, what area code's that? Yeah. Tells him he's from New Hampshire. Literally became best friends with this man on the front door.
Tate.
And I'm in my pajamas at this point, and if I
you're
was not,
annoyed.
I would have gone out there and been like, my husband's a much nicer man than I am. We do not need anything that you are selling. Thank you very much. But I'm in my pajamas, so I'm like, I'm not gonna storm out there.
Yeah.
So he comes back in, and I'm like, why would you do that why would you entertain that for 30 minutes and schedule us for a window estimate tomorrow when we don't even need new windows?
So you don't need new windows.
He thinks, in his mind, we need new windows. In my mind, we do not need new windows.
Has he said prior to this encounter, we need new windows?
Or
all of a sudden now he
never uttered the word. And then I was like, oh, well, are you sure you didn't want to invite your best friend in for dinner? And he was like, I'm a salesman. I understand how hard it is. Sometimes I would like to give people the attention that I think that my sales pitch deserves. Yada, yada, yada.
That is so sweet.
And I was so annoyed because, and then I made him cancel the window estimate, so he canceled it.
This poor guy is blindsided. He's like, I got him. I got a sale. I'm already taking the commission. I already bought my coat at Burlington, and now I know I got these guys. And
the window guy's watching this episode like, you're the wife.
So I did do this. I did do this once.
So you entertained the sales pitch.
Yes, I did, because we needed a new roof, and some guy shows up, and I had been like Googling, new roof, who should I go with, and a guy literally just knocks on our door and said, I'm looking at your roof right now, I think you need a new one. I was like, that's funny you say that, I do. Turns out he was the most expensive quote we got.
Yeah.
I thought he was coming to me with like this great quote. Most expensive one that he's telling me it's biodegradable roofing. I'm like, that doesn't sound good.
And you would think door to door is like, oh, it's probably like family owned, operated, like they're coming from down the street. They're the big corporations. The big corporations are still, I know what company it is, but I'm not gonna, put them on the news or on, this is not the news, but on Delco Duo. So it was a big company.
I think you need to tell Tate, like, Thank you, but it's a lot of time because now they're going to come to your house and they will sit for an hour or two.
And I said, I was like, the reason they talked to you for
time.
so long is because we're the only suckers in the neighborhood that opened the door. And I honestly thought he was going to invite them in for dinner. There was 2 of them. I honestly thought I needed to set 2 more plates.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of time. It was nice of Tate to do that, but I think in the end, it's just going to be 8 more meetings.
Well, now they have all our contact information. They think that we want new windows. So this is probably just the start of, this.
You're going to have to take this on now because they are going to call. They're going to stop back. They're going to email. They're going to send you letters. And then you just need to take control and just tell someone, whoever you can get a hold of, we're not interested. Thank you. We don't need any windows.
Yeah, I guess. So my question to you at home is, do you entertain the sales pitch? Let me know. Email us and tell us, do you entertain sales pitches that come to your front door?
But can we just say that was very sweet of Tate?
It was.
I understand.
And that's why I say he's a better person than I am. But
And like you said, he understands the sales and the game.
Yeah.
And it's a tough game.
well, I'm like,
so.
are they going to buy from you now? Did you swap your sales pitch to that?
Are you gonna start listening to our traffic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right. Delco Trivia, that is coming up. And we have the question here, Monica. I know this is your favorite part of the show.
I learned so much. When was Delaware County established? Okay, that's real, like going back.
Bonus points for month and day.
Simple stuff here. Think about it. All right, the excitement is palpable. When was Delaware County established? Month and day. The only thing historically that I know.
Don't look at the screen because it's going to come up soon.
Okay.
So what do you know historically?
Historically, I know that we were a part of Chester County.
Okay.
This used to be Chester County.
So when did we break off?
My guess is sometime later in life.
Yes.
Wow, that's
You're
not that
looking now. September 26th, 1789.
1789. I was going to say the 1800s because I thought at one point we were Chester County for so long. That happened so long ago. I knew. Man, we are such a historical county.
Let me add a little bit to this. While the county has a much earlier history of settlement, this is the day that the 49 municipalities comprising Delaware County were legally separated from Chester County. So what you just said. So basically, they built a courthouse, and the people, the Chesterites, felt that it was way too far for them to travel to do all their legal proceedings. So then they were, like, okay, we need to cut this off, and we need to have one closer to us. So that is the day that they decided to cut it off because basically the courthouse was too far.
Right, and I do remember that that Chester, the city itself, had a big issue, and so now you're telling me the issue was that they didn't like how far it was to get to the courthouse because apparently everybody was going to court those days.
Well, it was the Chester County people didn't like it was in Delaware County, so then they just everyone separated, and then we had Delaware County.
And the middle of it, media, is now where the courthouse is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful courthouse. Monica's been there many times fighting all the laws that she has broken.
No, I've only been for passport services.
Okay, Monica.
And for marriage and birth stuff.
You tell the people that. You lie to them.
That is such a fun fact, too.
I love reading all of your issues, and we have so much fun with you guys. So Delco Duo at phl17.com. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Give us as much detail or as little detail as you would like. These were the extremes. One line and then
3 paragraphs. And as always, you remain completely anonymous. So all of the names, of course, we made are made up. We will not blow up your spot. We will not use your actual name.
Gladys was not her real name.
I love that you picked Gladys for the church.
The church lady.
So stereotypical. All right. Of course, you can find us on social media, Jenna Meisner, Monica Cryan, and we'll see you next week for another episode.
Have a good night. Bye.